John Piper with the pre-trading not weekend. It's actually, well, it is weekend, I suppose. It's New Year's Eve today, so it's Friday the 31st of December, and we're looking here at a chart, daily chart of the FTSE. Just want to reiterate the possible 5-wave count here from the March 2009 low. So a fairly important 5 waves, really, if this is correct. 1, 2, I count this whole thing as 3, with a 4 there, and then this clear 5-wave form which came in from the low in July of this year. So there's a very strong case here for an important peak coming in any time now. I mean, there are alternative counts, and I guess we should look at one of those. I mean, it's possible this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a 2 here. This is some kind of 3rd wave. That's not impossible. I mean, again, it still calls for a pullback, but a much smaller pullback. So, as is often the case, it's the contra-trend move that may well tell the story, and how this move reacts should be fairly important. I mean, the one thing that this account lacks is a clear 3rd wave acceleration phase, which ought to be there, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. Similarly, if this is a 3rd wave, I think we should have probably seen a bit faster action this year rather than the stuff we have seen. Well, there has been fairly dramatic, I guess. But for now, the key thing is that that a peak is coming in here. Now, for my own trading purposes, I have bought this ETF, the super short strategy, 2 times fund. This is my own trading purposes. It's not a recommendation. I'm just telling you what I've done. The advantage of something like this is that it's an investment type vehicle, although it can of course be used for trading, as can all investment type vehicles, and you can't get stopped out. So if FTSE goes another 1,000 points, then the investment will not be doing very well, to say the least, but you'll still be in there. So as long as we do see a pullback at this point in time, then this is a fairly good way of possibly trading this. I mean, clearly you need to have some cash set aside that you can use for this kind of thing. If we scroll down the page, then you'll see the codes for this this vehicle. Down the bottom, I think, down here. So you see the exchange code is SUK2. It's got Bloomberg, Reuters, the rest of the things. Index disclaimers. I mean, obviously there's risk with everything. Makes sense to research these things carefully. But this is quite a good strategy. I'll be saying a bit more about this in the Technical Trader, but it's something that, you know, as I say, it's not a recommendation. I'm just telling you what I've done, and I'm not sure the peak's in yet, but I think it's pretty close. Okay, here's a final fifth of a fifth. There's no clear form here. Sorry, no clear form here at all. All I will say, we look at this action that we've seen in the last week, which has been particularly uninteresting in many ways. All we've seen is this sort of slight drift last week, and now this slight drift down this week, where we have gone above 6,000. So the target I've been talking about for some weeks now has been met, but you know, this decline looks very corrective. So I still think we're going to see higher prices, but yeah, I think possibly in the first week in January, we're going to see a major peak, and I'll be looking to obviously issue a big call at that point, because the chart patterns are pretty clear right now, which makes a nice change, I have to say. It's been a bit dismal this year, one way or the other. We've ended up on the year, which is great, but it's been a very unsatisfactory year in many ways. You just need to look at the chart for the year to see why. I mean, you know, you can only do what have to work with what the market gives. We all have to work with what the market gives us. It hasn't given us a huge amount this year, but I say we've done okay. Anyway, we'll now look at the Dow quickly. Very similar pattern on the Dow, so we've still got this possible 1, 2, maybe that's a 3, 4, and then there's 5-wave form here, which is again pretty clear, suggesting some kind of peak coming in imminently. On the Dow, actually, it's possible the peak's already in. Let's look at the shorter term chart here. So we've got the possible 5 waves off this peak here. So the peak came in on the 29th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, we've also got 5 waves up here, which confuses you somewhat. And I still think we'd like to see, you know, you get these New Year's resolutions. You get these New Year stock picks, So there's a fair case that the sentiment's going to continue a bit longer, that we're going to see slightly higher prices, especially on FTSE with the pattern we've got there. We're talking about 6,000. It deserves a slightly bigger penetration. So although it's possible the peak's in here, there's no clear sign of that. I mean, we've got what, 70 points off the top so far, not terribly significant in terms of the Dow, but certainly, you know, it's in my view time to go short, and we'll be looking to, you know, pick the high more carefully once we see clearer patterns. And the ETF I mentioned earlier is really a broad brush technique, but it can, you know, none the worse for that. You know, it's a much more relaxed style of trading, which you know, I certainly suggest you look into. Right, so gold. We had a possible negative pattern developing here, and my recommendation was to sell below 1,360. In the sense it could have been a 1, 2, and then a 3 building up, and possibly a sharp fall. Instead of which we've seen quite a clear buy signal. It came in, I think, at 1 o'clock in the morning on the 27th. Not the ideal time for trading, but instead of going down, gold's gone up. It could still be an ABC, in fact. I mean, this could still be a corrective form, and this could also be a corrective form. A, B, oops, C, ABC. So there could be a C wave coming in, but for now we're going to cancel the shorting instruction. And it looks like gold's going to see higher prices. You know, we may see the C wave down, but if so, it would look like a corrective move and not a impulsive move. So pound dollar, no resolution here. We've still got this ABC, which for now looks like an ABC, as I've discussed before. But you know, this action here is not very convincing, and we could still see another leg down. But it still looks like we should see high prices of pound dollar. It's just a question of when the low comes in. At least that's my current take on it. Let's just go slightly further down the price channel hourly chart. I mean, yes, there is some action here. I mean, we are seeing that was quite a nice rally, but you know, it's fallen right back again. Nothing conclusive at this point in time, but as I say, longer term, I still think we're going up. Nothing to dispel that view at this point in time. Good, I hope you found it interesting and useful. We'll be back for subscribers on Tuesday morning with the opening report, unless something happens first, which seems extremely unlikely. So only remains for me to wish you all the best for the new year, and a very happy and prosperous new year for us all, I hope. And thanks for listening again. Bye bye for now.